Honey, about the mountain lodge trip next month. My mom's voice hesitated during our weekly call. I could already feel something was off. Emma doesn't think it's a good idea for you to come. She wants it to be more intimate. Emma, my younger sister. The same one whose college tuition I helped pay, and whose dream vacation I just funded with an $8,000 deposit on a luxury mountain lodge, for what I thought was a family reunion. Intimate. As keeping my voice steady. I know, sweetie. And we're so grateful, Mom rushed on. But Emma's bringing her new boyfriend, and she thinks having her boring older sister there might make things awkward. You understand, right? I'm Olivia Mitchell. I'm 32, and I'd just been uninvited from a vacation I paid for. And someone has to watch the cats, Mom added. Pet sitters are expensive these days. So I was good enough to fund the trip and care for their pets, but not good enough to be in the photos. I stared at the confirmation email on my screen. $8,000 gone. Money I'd saved working as an environmental scientist. I'd hoped this trip would finally give us the warm, connected family moment we never had growing up. My phone buzzed. Emma, Mom told you, right? Don't take it personally. Jake and I want to make a good impression. Your whole science nerd vibe doesn't really match the aesthetic. Thanks for understanding. Hey. Her boyfriend of 3 months. Apparently he made the guest list, I didn't. Then came a text from Dad. Princess, we know we can count on you. Emma needs this time to shine. Emma had always been the golden child, pretty popular, always the center of attention. Meanwhile, I was the quiet one with science fairs and conservation work they never showed up for. I opened my bank statements. Tuition for Emma. Medical bills for Mom. A loan to help Dad's business survive COVID. All unpaid. But I'd never asked, they were family. And family helps family. As long as I was the one doing the helping. A group chat message popped up. Photos of the lodge's luxury suites. Emma. Jake and I get the Sunset Suite. Mom and Dad are in the master. Sarah and Tom called dibs on the Lakeview room. It's going to be amazing. Sarah, our cousin, and her husband. Also invited. Also in debt to me from her wedding last year. I looked around at the framed certificates on my walls. Awards for environmental work no one in my family ever acknowledged. I considered reminding them who paid for this intimate getaway. Instead I typed, no problem. Have fun. Emma replied instantly. You're the best. Oh, and don't forget to water Mom's plants. Closed my laptop. 10 years of being the reliable one. 10 years of being taken for granted. The lodge trip was supposed to be different. I had it all planned. Hikes, sunset views, a chance to show them the conservation work I was passionate about. But Emma wanted it her way. And once again our parents followed her lead. Another text from Mom. We'll bring you back a souvenir. Don't forget Rocky's meds. You're such a blessing, Liv. A blessing. More like a doormat. I opened a drawer and pulled out a folder labeled property documents. Inside was something none of them knew about. Something that would make their little vacation interesting. The week before the trip, the group chat was buzzing. Outfit plans. Spa reservations. Made with my lodge credit. Photos of the gourmet kitchen where Mom would host intimate dinners. Not one person questioned why the person paying for it all wasn't coming. I made a few phone calls. Sent some emails. The lodge manager was sympathetic when I showed proof I was the sole payer. You're the booking holder, Ms. Mitchell, she said. Would you like to make changes? I did. On the morning of their trip, I got texts and selfies from their breakfast send-off. Emma was glowing. Sarah bragged about the luxury she was headed for. I waited until I knew they were halfway to the mountains before making one final call. At 4:30 p.m., the exact time they were scheduled to arrive, my phone exploded with messages. Confusion. Frustration. There had definitely been a mistake. Except there hadn't. They're saying the reservation was modified. Olivia, are you getting these messages? The first texts were confused. Then came the angry ones. Emma. The suite assignments are all wrong. Jake and I were promised the sunset room. They put us in the smallest cabin. And finally a call from my mother. Olivia. Thank goodness you answered. There's a problem at the lodge. They're saying the reservation was changed. No main lodge, just separate cabins, and they won't let us switch. Emma is crying. Her perfect trip is ruined. I sat in my home office, Rocky the cat purring contentedly in my lap. Oh no. That's strange, I said calmly. What did the manager say? He said only you, as the booking holder, could make changes. We tried explaining we're family, but he insisted. Right. That's because I did modify the reservation last week, I replied. Everyone now has their own private cabin. The main lodge is booked by someone else. Silence. You what? Why would you do that? Well, I said, stroking Rocky's fur, since I wasn't invited to this intimate family getaway, even though I paid for it, I figured you'd all appreciate some extra intimacy. No shared spaces, no forced dinners. Just peaceful personal time. Isn't that what Emma wanted? But that's not what we planned, Mom stammered. Emma wanted everyone together. No, Mom. Emma wanted everyone she approved of. There's a difference. My phone buzzed again. Emma. Way to ruin everything. Jake's uncomfortable. This isn't the luxury vacation I promised him. I replied in the group chat so everyone could see. Actually, the private cabins cost more than the main lodge. Consider it an upgrade. My treat. After all, isn't that what family does? Help each other out. Sarah chimed in. This is petty, Olivia. We would have invited you if you weren't so. You. I smiled and attached screenshots. Decade-old payment receipts, tuition transfers, medical bills, and wedding loans. Funny, I typed. You didn't seem to mind me being me when you needed money. Silence. Total. Even Emma, normally fast with a snide comment, had nothing to say. Then Mom called again. Her voice smaller this time. Honey, we never meant to hurt you. Emma just thought. Emma thought. Emma wanted. Emma needed. I know, Mom. That's how it's always been. I paused, then said, well, now Emma has her own private cabin with Jake. And all of you got what you asked for. An intimate family vacation. Enjoy. Don't forget to post lots of pictures. I hung up and turned my phone to silent as it continued buzzing with calls and texts. Rocky stretched in my lap, blissfully unaware of the chaos unraveling hundreds of miles away. From my window, I watched the city lights blink on. On my desk sat a brochure for a different mountain resort, one where I'd booked myself a private cabin for next week. Because sometimes the best family memories are the ones you make on your own. 3 days later, the messages started again. Only this time they weren't angry. They were desperate. Emma sent photos of her and Jake crammed into their tiny cabin. This isn't what I pictured at all. There's barely any room. Sarah complained about having to walk outside in the cold to get to the main lodge spa. Why aren't we all together like we planned? Mom tried guilt-tripping me with a photo of their dining table. Look at all this space for one more. It's not too late to join us, sweetheart. I was sipping wine in my backyard garden, enjoying a warm breeze when Dad called. Princess, he began in his classic mediator tone. I think we all got off on the wrong foot. Emma feels terrible. She didn't mean to exclude you. She just wanted things to be perfect for Jake. Perfect for Jake. I repeated. A man she's known for 3 months mattered more than your daughter. The silence on his end was louder than any apology. You know, Dad, while sorting my files last week, I came across something interesting. I swirled my wine. Remember that business loan you needed during COVID? The one the bank rejected. Olivia, that was years ago. That's ancient history. Maybe to you, I said. But not to me. The money I gave you wasn't just my savings, I said quietly. It was the down payment for my own house. I put off my dreams to save your business. And you never even told Mom where the money came from. She still thinks the bank approved the loan. More silence. Princess. Don't princess me, Dad. I'm done being the family ATM. I'm done being left out of family photos and vacations while funding everyone's good time. After hanging up, I opened my email. A message from the lodge manager was waiting. Apparently, Emma had tried to charm her way into merging the cabins or upgrading to the main lodge, offering to pay the difference herself. He had politely declined, reminding her that only I, as the booking holder, could authorize changes. That evening, Sarah posted a passive-aggressive status. Family vacations aren't the same when people let their feelings ruin everyone's happiness. I commented with a screenshot of her unpaid wedding loan. Nia, wedding loans hit different when certain people forget to repay them. The post disappeared within minutes. By day 5, something unexpected happened. Jake messaged me directly. "Hey, I didn't know you paid for all this. Emma told me her parents funded the trip. Feel terrible. Honestly, the separate cabins helped me see things more clearly. About the family dynamic. I'm heading home early. Thanks for helping me dodge a bullet." I smiled, imagining Emma's meltdown. Sure enough, an hour later the group chat blew up. "Emma, Jake left. He just left. This is your fault. You ruined everything. Mom, if we'd all stayed in the main lodge, maybe this wouldn't have happened." I replied. "Or maybe if you'd raised Emma to be less entitled and more appreciative, she wouldn't push people away." On the final day of their trip, Dad made one last attempt to patch things up. A long message arrived about family sticking together, how they'd taken me for granted, how they wanted to make things right. I responded by sending a brochure. "I'll be here next week. A lovely cabin with a sunrise view. I'll be hiking, photographing wildlife, and working on my conservation project. I won't be checking my phone for emergency fund requests or pet-sitting duties. For once, I'm putting myself first." The day they returned home, I was packing for my own trip when Mom showed up at my door. She looked tired, defeated. "The cats missed you," she said softly, holding out their carrier. "I'm sure they did," I replied. "Just like you all miss my wallet when it's not available." She flinched. "We deserve that. All of it. Emma's been impossible since Jake left. Sarah's husband keeps asking about the wedding loan. And your father. He finally told me about the COVID money." I took the cat carrier, gently setting it down as Rocky and Mittens meowed in greeting. "You know what hurts most, Mom," I said, looking her in the eyes. "It's not the money. Not even being excluded. It's that none of you saw me. Really saw me. My achievements, my passions, my worth. Beyond what I could give you." Tears welled in her eyes. "Can we fix this? Maybe. But not with grand gestures or group vacations. Starts with respect. With recognition. With treating me like your daughter. Not your convenience." She nodded slowly. "Your father showed me the brochure. That conservation project. It sounds fascinating. I'd like to learn more about what you do." It was a small step, but maybe a meaningful one. The following week, I settled into my own mountain cabin. I posted a photo of the sunrise. No forced smiles, no drama. Just golden light spilling over the hills. Emma unfollowed me instantly. Sarah left a snide comment. "Flaunty little solo trip, huh?" But Mom liked the post. "Beautiful view, honey. Tell me more about your forest work." And for the first time in years I felt something new. Peace. Sometimes the best family moments aren't the picture-perfect ones. They're the honest ones. The kind that only come after you stop letting others define your worth. Rocky and Mittens curled up beside me as the mountain air turned crisp and golden. For once, I wasn't the helper, the fixer, the giver. I was just Olivia. And that was finally enough.